Hey there everybody, Jack Barnwell here in a very special place with a very special treat for you all today. This is a park setting that we designed and developed and planted in downtown Elk Rapids, Michigan. And this project was a real honor to be a part of. I'll tell you through the whole story and of its creation and why it's here and what it's all about as we tour through this absolutely beautiful, sacred space here on the river in downtown Elk Rapids. Let's check it out. All right, so this really special space and place here is called Lauren's Grove. Lauren was a young girl that passed away way before her time, and in remembrance of her, this really special space was developed and created. The owners of this property, it's a nonprofit, a group that got together to, give this space to the community and to people that want to come and remember, a loved one and remember, people that have been really special in their lives. And it's dedicated to this young girl, Lauren. It's just a really amazing, powerful project. And we got to be a part of it from the very beginning in its development here. So when we came on to start in on this project, a lot of these key trees were here and were planted, and that was all done several years ago in preparation for and in dreaming up the idea of Lauren's Grove. So the idea is that it's sort of an urban oasis, and it really is an arboretum. There's so many different varieties of trees in here, really special trees that fortunately were planted long enough ago that we were working with this awesome, beautiful canopy of mature trees. So we've got these, beautiful oaks and dogwoods and golden rain trees and ginkgos and just a huge diversity of trees in here. And a lot of them carry a huge amount of meaning. So the placement of those trees and the development of this whole space has taken several years to get going. One of the key principles of the design was the coming together of multiple regions of the world, multiple philosophies, multiple ideas and cultures to marry all those ideas and to bring them all into one space. And so there's 3 different realms of the garden that have dramatically different designs, different plant material, different feel and vibe entirely. The first of those is the kind of eastern section of the garden, which has a very Japanese garden feel to it, and that steps off of the sidewalk here down this really neat staircase that we use these huge big, they're called stone fingers, big slabs of stone there, set those into the bank and then planted all the little gaps and everything. And so even though that staircase is brand new, it already looks like it's been there forever. There is going to be a big sort of Japanese inspired entry arch and gate at the top there that is still forthcoming. But really excited about the way that entry to the eastern realm of this garden came together. And then as you dive into this section of the garden, some beautiful benches that we tucked all over the place. These are all different cast stone benches and stuff, and all the plant material in these different areas, again, has a lot of meaning. The vibe and style of the different areas of the garden are indicative of that culture or of that sort of space and place in the world. So a lot of symbolism and meaning in this garden. All of those, the 3 realms here come together in the center in this Trinity knot. So which is essentially you can see we did it with this stone. This is 8-inch wall stone that's flipped up on its side to make this stone border, and that way we were able to lineate this really important and powerful shape. And this Trinity knot is 3 Vesica Pisces that overlap and come together to form this sense of unity in the center. So the center tree and the center of the whole garden really, it centers around this Trinity knot and the 3 benches that face the center. This realm here behind you, this is kind of the Norse or northern realm of the world and northern ideology. So it's supposed to, again, these are small spaces. This is supposed to be kind of like a headland of like northern Scotland or northern Ireland. So we went with a lot of this really, really beautiful nappy, no-mow style grass to represent like a rolling headland, some big, mossy outcrop boulders, and some, again, we're dealing with species and plants that grow and thrive here in northern Michigan, and trying to integrate that look and that vibe for this garden to be successful. So this is kind of this northern headland idea with some of these big outcrops and these rolling meadows. That feeds into this central Trinity knot. Then as we fade this way, this is the southern realm, or all of the southern kind of Aboriginal culture and Native American culture is represented in this space and place in the garden. So much broader, bigger, prairie-like meadows, and some really important plants like sweetgrass. We've got a lot of wild strawberry, some yarrow, wild roses. And as these spaces and places get going, it's gonna just blend in and naturalize and look really, really cool. So all this is a very new planting. We just got a lot of this going and established just this last year. So it's exciting to see how well it's all starting to come together. The sumac is all doing really well up in the back there, and it just really looks awesome. One of the really key elements of this space was getting a hedge around the entire thing. We went with northern white cedar, or Thuja occidentalis, and the arborvitae tree of life is the northern white cedar, and it's a great plant. Obviously does a tremendous job screening this very, very urban environment, and we were right downtown, right in Elk Rapids, but tucking into this garden space. Immediately you feel like you're in this complete tucked away oasis, which is really, really the intention of this space. So people can come in here, sit, relax, and visit with family, visit with friends, and it's a space for that reflection and remembrance. And it's just turning out awesome. I'm super proud of the way it's all starting to come together. As I mentioned earlier, we do have that gate that has to be installed at the top of that stone staircase. We also are installing a gate at the Norse entrance. So there are 3 entryways to the garden: the eastern staircase, the Norse entry, and the southern entry. And the southern one will be a big woven willow entry kind of tunnel as you come through here. The garden also, fortunately, hugs the river as it sweeps through town and heads out to Lake Michigan. The river is right here, and the garden is right along the banks. We have just gotten started on some planting and establishing some really great native species and native grasses through here. We have a little editing to do. We got to keep up on some of the the more vigorous weed species and stuff like that. But it's coming along. It's coming along great. Some really, really cool plants that we have worked in and integrated into here. When we started, this whole entire riverfront was a real thicket of mostly poison ivy, tree of heaven, some real invasive, real problem plants. And we're working toward cleaning this all up and really getting it established and you know, making it significantly nicer for wildlife and for people to enjoy as well, and dogs. And dogs. Look at that beautiful shepherd playing and splashing in the river. But again, you know, there's a farmer's market going on today, right across the street, right here. Tons and tons of people there, and you can hardly hear them or hardly know about it, tucked in here in Lawrence Grove. This is open, you know, to the public. So if you find yourself in Elk Rapids at all, ever, or make a trip up this way, because it's really, really a special space and place. There's a lot of things blooming and happening and going on in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall. It's a really beautiful little grove with all the fall color and everything as well. So one of the greatest things about Lawrence Grove is the group behind Lawrence Grove has really dedicated a lot of resources to making sure that this garden is really well supported, to take care of it, to nurture it for many, many years to come, but also to educate everybody on the intent, the purpose of the garden, and the plants and the trees that are in here. So in the garden is this really, really darling little shed that's right in the middle of the garden. And there are these little booklets that are in this super cute little chest here that are printed and produced for people to be able to come and pick one up and take one, or just read it while you're here. It tells the whole story of the garden, of the northeast, you know, south gates and spaces, and the list of the trees and exactly, you know, where they are and why they're planted here, and all kinds of symbolism about those spaces. Obviously there's a really nice little photo and in remembrance of Lauren, and it's a really special, you know, very nice little piece there that was produced for you if you come visit, to be able to take with you or learn that much more about the Grove. There's also this really nice little library and little bookshelf here, and these are all books on trees and plants that are great. I mean, these are really, really, really amazing books and reads to speak for the trees, you know, for Lawrence Grove. Please read here and reshelve. So all these books, the intention is that you would pick one of these up, you know, sit in the grove, read a few pages, read a chapter or two, spend a little time here relaxing and experiencing the space, you know, especially in the morning or in the evening. It's so quiet and lovely and just amazing here. You know, read a little bit from one of these books, put the book back, and, you know, go on your way, and hopefully take a little bit of the spirit and the magic of this place with you. So it was a real honor to be a part of this, to design this all up, and to you know, plant and now we oversee some of the maintenance and the ongoing efforts and editing and everything of this garden, and it's awesome. So I wanted to show you guys all through this one because it's a really cool space, and I want to encourage you to come and check this out if you're in the area, and or find spaces and places like this in your neck of the woods where you can get out and enjoy some really special sacred spaces amongst the trees. So stay tuned for some more videos and things coming your way about all kinds of beautiful spaces and places that we get to work in, and hopefully we inspire you to do some really beautiful things in your own gardens or your own communities and stuff back home. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see y'all again in the next video. Cheers.